Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're celebrating the sometimes surprising, often hilarious, but always unforgettable movie cameos. And we're starting with actor appearances that audiences likely didn't even notice.
These actors stole the show even if we didn't realize it. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 hidden celebrity cameos in movies.
Excuse me, where's the lobby?
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks.
For this list, we're looking at stars who made cameos in movies without the audience even noticing. Check their IMDb pages if you don't believe us.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know. He was laughing.
Number 20, Michael Caine, Dunkirk. You can't have a Christopher Nolan movie without Michael Caine, but the English actor flew under the radar in Dunkirk.
Check fuel, Fortis 1 and 2.
While Caine does not appear on screen, Tom Hardy and Jack Lowden do receive a radio message at one point from a familiar voice.
And keep an eye on that gauge, even when it gets lively. Safe enough to get back.
It's not easy to hear over the noisy planes, but if you listen closely, you can totally make out Caine's signature Cockney accent. Caine's cameo as the Fortis leader was an homage to his role in Battle of Britain, a 1969 World War II drama in which he played Squadron Leader Canfield. Almost 5 decades later, Caine is still fighting the same war.
The engine's overheating and so am I. We either stand down or blow up. Which do you want?
Number 19, Bill Murray, Dumb and Dumber 2.
I like what you've done with the place. Nice cappuccino machine.
In this long-awaited sequel, the Farrelly brothers not only reunited with stars Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, but Bill Murray as well.
Who's the astronaut?
Oh, that's my roommate.
If you missed Murray, that's because he was hidden under a hazmat suit. Returning home for the first time in 20 years, Lloyd learns that Harry has been sharing the apartment with a mysterious man named Icepick.
How's it going, Icepick?
Best day ever. Greatest day of my life, really.
Calling Walter White to mind, Murray's character makes a living by cooking rock candy that people and cats go crazy for.
Folks come from all over the city to buy it.
The movie might be called Dumb and Dumber 2, but this is actually a pretty clever Easter egg that only the most attentive moviegoers caught.
Burning my eyes. Must be Cajun style.
Number 18, Steven Spielberg, The Blues Brothers. The climax of this comedy classic throws in everything but the kitchen sink. With the police, firefighters, and even the military pursuing the Blues Brothers, it's easy to miss arguably the most iconic director alive.
Can I help you?
As the world outside his office erupts in chaos, a Cook County assessor played by Steven Spielberg obliviously eats his sandwich. Lunch is interrupted by Jake and Elwood, who pay their taxes just before the authorities cuff them.
$5,000, it's all there, pal.
Spielberg signs the receipts with the name R.J. Daley, a subtle nod to Chicago Mayor Richard J. Daley.
And here is your receipt.
1 year before Blues Brothers, Spielberg notably directed John Belushi in the war comedy 1941.
I'd like to eat sauerkraut for the rest of your life.
By the way, don't be surprised if Dan Aykroyd pops up in a Spielberg picture later on. Number 17, Jim Carrey, Liar Liar. We know what you're thinking. Jim Carrey was the lead in Liar Liar. How could he have a cameo in his own star vehicle?
Here she comes to wreck the day!
Well, remember the scene where Fletcher Reed gets injured at the airport? Look closely as his family shoves their way through a crowd of people. In the background, you might recognize a grinning fireman hidden behind a pair of shades.
Yeah, he's my husband. He was my husband.
It is none other than Carrey, standing just a few feet away from Fletcher. This is apparently supposed to be Fire Marshal Bill, a recurring character Carrey portrayed on In Living Color.
Nice to meet you, folks. Fire Marshal Bill here.
Won't you come in?
Hey, if Ace Ventura and Stanley Ipkiss can exist in the same universe, why not Fletcher and Bill? Number 16, Garrett Morris, Ant-Man. When Scott Lang takes his Ant-Man suit for a test drive, he lands on the roof of a car parked outside. The driver is played by comedian Garrett Morris, who was a cast member on Saturday Night Live from 1975 to 1980.
What the hell?
At first, this may seem like a random cameo, but hardcore SNL fans will notice its significance. In a sketch entitled Superhero Party, Morris appeared as Ant-Man, along with host Margot Kidder as Lois Lane, Bill Murray as Superman, and various others.
What are your superpowers again? You talk to the ants, is that it?
Well, partly, but mainly I shrink myself down to the size of an ant while retaining my full human strength.
While a parody, this was technically the first live-action portrayal of Ant-Man. Ant-Man is heckled by the Flash and Hulk, who don't think his powers are anything particularly special. Ant-Man and his costume have certainly come a long way since then.
Oh, best stay out of this guy's way. Oh, every molecule's quivering now. Oh.
Number 15, Nathan Fillion, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Check out the new meat.
Nathan Fillion is a regular in director James Gunn's movies. He's also best known for playing Malcolm Reynolds, one of the most beloved starship captains of all time. Naturally, Fillion had to pop up somewhere in Guardians of the Galaxy. Even the most die-hard sci-fi fans missed his cameo, though.
I'm gonna slather you up in Navi and jelly. Go to town.
Upon arriving at the kiln, our heroes come face-to-face with numerous monstrous inmates. Fillion voices a blue thug that gives Peter Quill an especially hard time. Luckily, Groot has Peter's back and the thug's nose.
Number 14, Kristen Wiig, Her.
The following are adult female, can't sleep, and want to have some fun.
This film follows the romance between a man named Theodore and an OS named Samantha. Before Theodore falls for the disembodied voice of his dreams, he tries to make a connection with a fellow lonely soul. An unseen Kristen Wiig voices Sexy Kitten, a woman that can't sleep and wants to have some fun.
Hi, I'm here alone and I can't sleep. Who's out there to share this bed with me?
Initially, she seems like an ideal candidate for a phone sex hookup. When she starts talking about dead cats, however, Theodore suddenly loses his sex drive. Many people didn't recognize Wiig's voice, although they probably should have in retrospect. After all, she's one of the few comedians that could pull off this role with just the right balance of quirkiness and kinkiness.
I'm pulling it. The cat's dead. It's a dead cat around your neck, and I'm pulling it.
Number 13, Cameron Crowe, Minority Report. Not even the precogs could have foreseen this cameo. Wanted for a crime that hasn't happened yet, Chief John Anderton's name and face are soon plastered over every newspaper. Anderton is spotted by a passenger sitting across from him on a train. Even if you don't recognize the passenger, you might have seen some of his movies, which include Almost Famous, Jerry Maguire, and Say Anything. Cameron Crowe isn't the only famous face on this train, as Cameron Diaz can also be seen sitting behind him. What's the common thread here? 1 year earlier, director Steven Spielberg made an uncredited cameo as a party guest in Crowe's Vanilla Sky, which starred Diaz and Tom Cruise. Could it be that this whole movie is just a simulated reality?
Happy birthday, David.
Happy birthday!
Number 12, Paul Rubens, Batman Returns.
Previously working with Tim Burton on Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Rubens' appearance in Batman Returns saw him play a completely different kind of character. Perhaps that's why he slipped by unnoticed. The usually eccentric Rubens stars as Tucker Cobblepot, a restrained, distant man who views his newly born son as an abomination. Along with his equally heartless wife, played by fellow Pee-wee alumnus Diane Salinger, Rubens' character dumps young Oswald into the sewers, where a family of penguins awaits. Although nobody caught the cameo at first, this has since become one of Rubens' most memorable roles. Perhaps because of this, Rubens would go on to play Penguin's father again in the TV series Gotham.
Isabella's over on the other side with us, whispering tales of murder.
Number 11, Bruce Campbell, Fargo.
What?
Well, it's something kind of small, but it might be a big problem.
Written, directed, and produced by the Coen brothers, this Oscar-winning black comedy follows a man who concocts a plan to kidnap his wife for ransom, the criminals he hires, and the pregnant police chief on their trail. Fargo may feature Frances McDormand, William H. Macy, and Steve Buscemi. But did you also know that Ash Williams himself can be spotted on screen? Literally? That's right. When Buscemi and Peter Stormado's small-time crooks have Gene Lundegaard tied up and blindfolded, Gare watches The Tube to pass the time. The show that captures his attention before the arrival of his partner Carl happens to be a soap opera with Campbell acting in a dramatic scene that leaves Gare momentarily speechless.
I'm pregnant.
Huh?
I'm pregnant.
Number 10, Brad Pitt, Deadpool 2. The Vanisher remains invisible until his days with X-Force come to an abrupt end. In a blink-and-you'll-miss-it moment, Brad Pitt makes a shocking and hilariously brief cameo as Vanisher flies into a telephone pole.
Vanisher! Maybe the wind can't blow what it can't see.
It's a brilliant waste of a great actor, and the cameo is only made funnier when you consider that Pitt was originally in talks to play Cable before scheduling interfered. So instead of playing cable, he got electrocuted by some cables.
Really?
Pitt's not the only Ocean's 11 actor present. An unrecognizable Matt Damon also appears as a beer-bellied redneck named Dickie Greenleaf, who has clearly gone through some changes since the talented Mr. Ripley.
Toilet paper is plenty fine appetizer, but then Huggies Natural Care wet wipes. That's your main course.
And the other guy talking to Damon about toilet paper? That's Alan Tudyk.
What year is it?
What kind of dumbass question is that, Dad?
Number 9. Jimmy Buffett, Jurassic World. Jurassic World is wall-to-wall with product placement, but let's be honest. If a Jurassic theme park were real, it would probably have more corporate sponsors than dinosaurs. Among the many brand names in the film is Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville.
Due to a containment anomaly, all guests must take shelter immediately.
When the pterosaurs break free from their aviary, the Margaritaville patrons are forced to flee for their lives. In the midst of all this anarchy, one man grabs 2 large margarita glasses before taking off. This margarita enthusiast is Jimmy Buffett himself. Producer Frank Marshall has snuck Buffett into a few of his films over the years, including Hook.
I fancied him showing his shoes for my booty.
Well, I think you can get them at Armani.
This is easily Buffett's most meta cameo, however. While we never learn the fate of Buffett's character, the Margaritaville was the climax's greatest casualty. Number 8. Lucy Lawless, Spider-Man. We all know that Bruce Campbell appeared throughout the original Spider-Man trilogy, but he's not the only actor with close ties to director Sam Raimi.
What's your name, kid?
The human spider.
The human spider, that's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
As Spider-Man rises up as the hero New York needs, several residents share their thoughts on the web-slinger.
This is not a man. My brother saw him building a nest in the Lincoln Center fountain.
A punk rock woman is turned on by the idea of a guy with 8 hands.
Guy with 8 hands. Sounds hot.
Given that she's best known for playing the titular character in Xena Warrior Princess, it likely didn't occur to you that this New Yorker is Lucy Lawless. Raimi actually helped develop the Xena TV series, which was co-created by Lawless's husband, Robert Tappert.
Why wasn't I told?
Of course, we're still waiting for an official crossover between Spidey and Xena. That's gotta exist somewhere in the Spider-Verse, right? Number 7. Dan Aykroyd, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Ah, Dr. Jones, I'm Weber.
Trying to escape from Shanghai, Indy and his friends get some help from a British military officer named Art Weber. Dan Aykroyd plays Weber, although it likely took audiences multiple viewings to realize this.
But there might be a slight inconvenience as you will be riding on a cargo full of live poultry.
Is he kidding? It's easy to overlook Aykroyd's presence since the camera never zooms in on his face. Plus, he puts on a thick English accent and delivers his lines at a rapid pace.
Heavens, aren't you Willie Scott, the famous American female vocalist?
And Aykroyd isn't the only big name that makes an appearance in this scene. Director Steven Spielberg, co-writer George Lucas, associate producer Kathleen Kennedy, and executive producer Frank Marshall can all be spotted at the airport. Talk about cameo overload.
Oh yeah, Jen!
Number 6. George Harrison, Monty Python's Life of Brian. You may be surprised by the sheer number of times George Harrison has crossed paths with the Monty Python crew. Eric Idle directed a music video for Cracker Box Palace, and Harrison was a producer for the Lumberjack song.
He's a lumberjack, he's so fair, because he works all night and he works all day.
The former Beatle even helped get Monty Python's Life of Brian off the ground, forming Handmade Films to finance the picture.
Let's go to Stoning.
You can go to a stoning anytime.
Oh, come on, Brian!
Since this comedy classic probably wouldn't exist without Harrison, the least the filmmakers could do was give him a cameo. As Brian makes his way through a crowd, Harrison can be seen greeting the so-called Messiah. Harrison's character is named Mr. Papadopoulos, the Mount's owner. Although he didn't get much screen time, it's safe to say that Harrison was this production's savior. Number 5. Cate Blanchett, Hot Fuzz.
Hello?
Janine, it's me.
I know, I'm at work.
Cate Blanchett took a break from Oscar-winning dramas to make an appearance in this laugh-a-minute comedy. Not that you'd notice. Playing Janine, Nick Angel's ex-girlfriend, she is concealed under a mask and coveralls, which not only hides Blanchett, but also means her character blends in with everyone else at the crime scene. Angel can't even differentiate who's who, as he attempts to bid his former lover farewell.
Nicholas, what do you want?
Well, I have something important to tell you, and I didn't want to do it over the phone.
since Blanchett is arguably the most accomplished performer in the movie. You'd think that the filmmakers would at least show her whole face. Yet they clearly went out of their way to make sure nobody in the audience spotted her. This just makes her uncredited cameo all the more hilarious.
You just can't switch off, Nicholas. And until you find a person you care about more than your job, you never will.
Number 4, Stephen Colbert, The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug.
Erdogan is not a name from the Lord of the Rings. I know it sounds like Erdogan could be Aragorn's dad, but obviously that's Arathorn. I don't have to explain that to you.
If you haven't noticed, Stephen Colbert is a pretty big Lord of the Rings fan.
There's an important legal distinction between Gollum and Smeagol. Smeagol is a perfectly normal hobbit until he was corrupted by the One Ring and became the creature known as Gollum.
As a matter of fact, Peter Jackson has described him as the biggest Tolkien geek he's ever met. In The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, Jackson finally gave the comedian a chance to visit Middle-earth. Since this franchise has so many characters, it isn't surprising that Colbert got lost in the shuffle. However, he can briefly be seen as a Lake Town spy. He's only on screen for a few seconds, but at least Colbert can say that he's officially part of Tolkien mythology. Colbert returned the favor by letting Smaug crash in on the Colbert Report.
We both live in gated communities, and we're both fiscal conservatives who sleep on giant piles of money.
Quite right. Time to return to the gold standard.
Number 3, Glenn Close, Hook.
You bet against me bringing Pan back here, didn't you?
No. Hook has a couple of fun cameos, but this one is by far the sneakiest. Hiding an Oscar-nominated actress in plain sight is no easy task, but director Steven Spielberg pulled it off in this scene.
Say it. I did. Yes, you made a boo-boo.
I did. Captain Hook isn't at all pleased with fellow pirate Gutless, played by an unrecognizable Glenn Close. As punishment for doubting him, Hook condemns Gutless to the boo box with a couple of scorpions.
The boo box. Yeah.
Although Gutless is supposedly a man, it wasn't uncommon for women to disguise themselves as male pirates, so perhaps that's the basis behind this cameo. It also wouldn't be the last time Close has done drag.
You never wear a dress.
Number 2, Steve Buscemi, Pulp Fiction.
Hi, I'm Buddy. What can I get you?
John Travolta and Uma Thurman are nothing short of captivating during the Jackrabbit Slim scene in Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. Since all eyes are on these two, audiences often fail to notice Steve Buscemi as their waiter. Dressed as Buddy Holly, Buscemi's character serves up a bloody as hell steak and a $5 shake with no bourbon.
How do you want that cooked? Burnt to a crisp or bloody as hell?
Bloody as hell, and oh yeah, look at this, vanilla Coke.
Buscemi previously played Mr. Pink in Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs, which is technically set in the same universe. So does this mean that the waiter is actually Mr. Pink hiding from the police? If so, he's doing a great job at keeping a low profile.
How do you want that shake? Martin and Lewis or Amos and Andy?
Martin and Lewis.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Wes Craven, Scream.
Damn little shits.
What'd you call me? Huh?
Not your friend.
Bradley Cooper, 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Michelle, please don't hang up. Just talk to me, okay?
David Beckham, The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Эта скандальная история привлекла внимание ЦРУ. Они признали, что...
Number 1, Daniel Craig, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
You will remove these restraints and leave this cell with the door open.
What did you say?
Daniel Craig has become iconic for his portrayal of James Bond, but that's not the only blockbuster franchise he's taken part in. Everyone was stunned to learn that Craig played a stormtrooper in Star Wars The Force Awakens. Which stormtrooper, you ask? Remember the soldier that was put in charge of guarding Rey on Starkiller Base? The one that Rey completely mind-tricked and forced to remove her restraints, leave the cell open, and drop his weapon? Daniel Craig.
I'll tighten those restraints, scavengers scum.
What makes this cameo especially ingenious is that the stormtrooper is named JB-007, a clear homage to James Bond and his codename. Well played, Abrams. Well played.
I will remove these restraints and leave the cell with the door open.
It's now time to check out cameos in film that stripped away all expectations and clothing.
All right, gentlemen. Free your mind.
I'd like to freeze something.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at instances when an actor wasn't on screen for long, but they showed a lot of themselves. To our YouTube overlords looming over that demonetize button, we'll try to keep things PG. Well, an 80s PG.
Nothing official. Just a little token of my appreciation.
Number 10, Marlon Ackerman. Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. Hitching a ride with Freak Show, played by an unrecognisable Christopher Maloney, our titular duo is introduced to Marlon Ackerman as his wife, Leanne.
Oh, hi boys.
To say that Leanne is out of his league is more apparent than Freak Show's boils. Nevertheless, Leanne loves Freak Show, making it all the more jarring when she inquires about a threesome, which her husband is seemingly okay with.
You assume we don't know how to have a good time?
Unbuttoning her shirt, Leanne shows some good old hospitality. Things turn violent once Freak Show walks in, although sex is put back on the table when he suggests a foursome, sending the boys running.
Since we're all here, how about a foursome?
Reflecting on her performance almost 2 decades later, Ackerman says, "I still get the occasional fan, and knowing that they've seen me in the movie, I always feel myself blushing." Number 9, Jo Beth Williams, Kramer vs. Kramer. Meryl Streep won her first Oscar for playing Joanna Kramer, a woman who runs out on her husband and son. Before auditioning for this role, Streep was originally cast as Phyllis, a co-worker who has a one-night stand with Dustin Hoffman's Ted. This small role ultimately went to Jo Beth Williams, who wore nothing but a pair of glasses for her big scene.
That's a closet. The bathroom's over there.
Crawling out of the bed in the morning, Phyllis accidentally crosses paths with Ted's son Billy.
Hi.
As Phyllis attempts to cover herself, Billy has a few questions, although not the ones you'd expect.
Do you like fried chicken?
Williams feared her nudity would traumatize child star Justin Henry, having visions of him spending the rest of his life in therapy. Thankfully, Billy's casual reaction mirrored Henry's in real life.
Kramer, I just met your son.
Number 8, Priscilla Barnes, Mallrats. Priscilla Barnes posed nude for Penthouse before breaking out in the final seasons of Three's Company. For Kevin Smith fans though, she's best recognised as Miss Ivana from Mallrats. Seeking relationship advice, Brody takes TS to see a topless fortune teller. The guys get more than what they paid for. Ivana doesn't possess a third eye, although she does have a third nipple, or so it seems. As Brody attempts to look away, TS is more drawn to Ivana's mind, as she proves surprisingly insightful. He doesn't even notice the third nipple, which we later learn is fake and edible.
What are you talking about?
We're a little bummed the nipple wasn't the source of her powers, but you know what they say. Two's company, three's a crowd. Number 7, Nina Hartley, Boogie Nights. Given the subject matter, it's only fitting that Boogie Nights would enlist a few actors from the adult film world. Discussing why Paul Thomas Anderson cast her, Nina Hartley said, "He knew that as an adult performer, nudity is my uniform, and so he wouldn't have to coddle me." Hartley has a brief but essential role as Little Bill's wife, played by William H. Macy. Bill repeatedly walks in on his wife committing adultery. Although their relationship is darkly humorous, our hearts break for Bill, as his wife callously treats him like nothing.
Go sleep on the couch.
Everyone underestimates how much Bill is hurting, eventually being pushed over the edge. This marks the beginning of a dark age for our characters as the carefree 70s come to a close. Number 6, Tyler Nilsson, Walk Hard, The Dewey Cox Story.
What's for breakfast? Hi, I'm Dewey Cox. In my house, it's Cox sausages.
Talking with his wife over the phone, musician Dewey Cox finds himself surrounded by others in the natural state.
Well, the tour's going real great, baby. And we're having a real nice time.
Among them is a roadie named Bert, who we initially only see from the waist down. Bert asks Dewey if he'd like some coffee, although they don't have this conversation face to face.
Who's that?
Oh, that's just Bert. My roadie just wants to know if I want any coffee.
According to co-producer / co-writer Judd Apatow, Bert was played by Tyler Nilsson, who has since gone on to direct films like The Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
Before that indie darling, Nilsson's appearance in Walk Hard was perhaps his greatest contribution to cinema.
I don't know. I'm talking to my wife, Bert.
The DVD even dedicated a special feature to him entitled Tyler Nilsson, a Cockumentary. We guess Nilsson puts the Cox in Dewey Cox. Seriously? Somebody got paid to write that last line. Number 5. Jenna Jameson, Private Parts. Howard Stern plays himself in this autobiographical film about how he became New York's most controversial radio personality. On the road to receiving his reputation, Stern conducts a live interview with a nude woman named Mandy.
Oh, look at this, Robin. This is unbelievable. Oh, the underpants are coming off.
Although Mandy only had a handful of lines, casting proved challenging with the filmmakers seeing dozens of women. Yet only one was right for the role, Jenna Jameson, an adult film actress who recently won several top newcomer awards. She was also a frequent guest on Stern's radio show.
So what made you come up?
I wanted to meet Howard.
Jameson's full frontal appearance here played a prominent part in her ascension to adult film royalty. She had no problem doing retakes, although the PAs kept trying to give her a robe. Jameson thinks they were more uncomfortable than her. Number 4. Stormy Daniels, the 40-year-old virgin. Before getting entangled in the former president's legal affairs, Stormy Daniels made a couple of cameos in Judd Apatow's productions. Their first collaboration was in The 40-Year-Old Virgin, as Andy tries to, practice with the tapes that David loans him.
It's nothing official. Just a little token of my appreciation.
In the film's unrated version, we see even more of Daniels, as Andy's sexual fantasies fall flat.
Okay, new tape.
When considering who to cast for this role, Apatow didn't want to make any actresses feel uncomfortable, so someone from the adult film world seemed like their best bet. Daniels, who had already made a name for herself, answered the call.
Stormy Daniels is in she's in both Knocked Up and The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Her IMDb is really varied.
Daniels returned to play a lap dancer in Knocked Up, and a photo of her as Red's wife can even be spotted in Pineapple Express. Number 3. John Cena, Trainwreck. For our money, Trainwreck marked John Cena's transition from wrestler to movie star, even if it was just an extended cameo.
He was hot, right?
In that short time, Cena demonstrated how far he's willing to go for his craft. In bed with Amy Schumer's character, Cena's Steven kills the mood with his misguided dirty talk. While Steven is ultimately satisfied, Amy is just left confused. The scene was loosely based on Schumer's real-life experience with a guy who was way too athletic.
Me, my CrossFit queen. That's my dream.
Cena revealed the full extent of his athleticism, showing more than just his chest. Although Cena was almost entirely naked, a prop was used to emphasize a certain region of his body. After that, streaking at the Oscars sounds like a breeze. Number 2. Leah Beldam, The Shining. Swiss model Leah Beldam auditioned to play an extra in the Overlook Hotel's ballroom. Noticing the nude photos in her portfolio, the casting directors gave her a more substantial role. Entering room 237, Jack Torrance finds a bathing beauty. Jack locks lips with the glamorous ghost, but the film's most sensual scene quickly escalates into the scariest. Instead of Beldam, a disturbed Jack pulls away to discover a rotting woman, played by Billy Gibson. Despite her limited screen time, Beldam was on set for a week, kissing Jack Nicholson roughly 5 times per day. Between takes, a woman helped Beldam dry off and robe. This wasn't as repetitive as putting on Gibson's grotesque makeup, which took an estimated 5 hours per day. Number 1. Susan Baccalini, Jaws. Susan Baccalini started her Hollywood career as a stuntwoman and extra. She'd make her acting debut as Chrissy Watkins, better known as the first victim in Jaws.
Where are we going?
Swimming!
Sending a nude photo of herself to the Jaws crew, Baccalini established that she wasn't afraid to show skin. She was also a good swimmer and could handle the dangerous stunt, which required her to be pulled back and forth in the water. Baccalini's convincing performance had everyone afraid to go back in the water, especially without a swimsuit on. Where this opening scene left audiences screaming, Baccalini's cameo in Steven Spielberg's 1941 had audiences laughing. Instead of getting yanked underwater, a submarine pulls Baccalini's skinny-dipping character above. In both films, Baccalini arguably had the most memorable moment. Which nude cameo did you pause the longest?
Stop laughing. Can you please stop laughing?
We are now going to rewind the reels so we can spot stars before they hit it big. Yep, here are actors who made very brief appearances in films before they became famous.
It's like, excuse me, but have you ever heard of styling gel?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for celebrity cameos in films that took place before they became the famous stars they are today.
So, what are you up to now, Mark? You're digging graves?
Number 10, Jason Segel. Can't hardly wait. Before he was making us laugh on How I Met Your Mother and showing off his comedic chops among other things and forgetting Sarah Marshall, Jason Segel had a brief yet hilarious turn in the teen comedy Can't Hardly Wait.
No, it's not really brown. Oh, he's tall.
Yeah. He's kinda tall, sorta tall.
While the late 90s film was packed with young stars of the moment like Jennifer Love Hewitt and Seth Green, Segel's appearance as Watermelon Guy was too random to miss.
You know who else I like, who never got much play, is Velma from Scooby-Doo. She was also she was a hip lady.
And although his role as a watermelon-loving partygoer was brief, the actor's comedic charm managed to shine through, hinting at the goofy yet lovable performances that would later define his career.
Oh, we never joke about B&Bs, especially at the height of syrup season.
Number 9, Seth Rogen, Donnie Darko.
God's vagina.
Oh. What do you want? Seth Rogen became a staple in comedic blockbusters over the years, but many may not realize that his first film role was far from a funny one. Yup, the affable Canadian actor made his big screen debut in the psychological thriller and celebrated cult classic, Donnie Darko.
I like your boobs.
Hey. In the 2001 Richard Kelly film, Rogen appears as one of the high school bullies tormenting Jake Gyllenhaal's titular character.
Well, I mean, didn't your dad, stab your mom?
Though his role is small, it no doubt leaves an impression, showcasing one of Rogen's rare early ventures into non-comedic territory. With very limited dialogue in the film, it's clear Rogen's journey into stardom has come a long way. Number 8, Ben Affleck, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Years prior to becoming an Oscar-winning filmmaker and A-list star, Ben Affleck had a very brief appearance as an unnamed basketball player in 1992's Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Take it, man.
While his cameo is fleeting, it stands out for an unexpected reason. His only line of dialogue was dubbed over by another actor, something Affleck didn't discover until he saw the film in theaters.
They had to pay someone to come in and say, "Hey man, take it." Because apparently I couldn't say that convincingly enough.
It's hard to believe that this random basketball player would go on to write and star in Good Will Hunting and lead major blockbuster films.
You don't owe it to yourself. You owe it to me.
Looking back, this minor appearance is a fun Easter egg for fans, considering the heights Ben would later reach in Hollywood. Number 7, Matt Damon, Mystic Pizza. Speaking of Ben Affleck, his real-life bestie Matt Damon also started his acting career in an unlikely place. That place was the movie Mystic Pizza. Yep, this 1988 romantic drama starring Julia Roberts saw a young Matt Damon as the preppy kid steamer. Matt's brief appearance comes when Charlie brings Daisy home to meet his family. Damon's big moment? That would be delivering the unforgettable line during the family dinner.
Mom, do you want my green stuff?
Okay, so it wasn't exactly Oscar-worthy stuff, but it marked the first step in a career that would eventually lead to plenty of principal roles.
Do you like apples?
Number 6, Kristen Stewart, The Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas. Thanks to her role as Bella Swan in the hugely popular Twilight series, Kristen Stewart became a household name.
I know what you are.
Say it. Out loud.
But did you know Stewart was part of another film franchise? Well, kinda. You see, the actress had an uncredited role in The Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas, a prequel to the 2000 live-action Flintstones movie.
This is destiny. Somewhere above, this was planned for me.
Stewart played a young girl at the theme park who was playing the ring toss game. While just a blink and you'll miss it moment, it was one of her earliest forays into film. Who knew that a trip to Bedrock would be among her first pit stops towards Hollywood stardom? Number 5, Jim Parsons, Garden State. Jim Parsons has played several memorable roles, but none as iconic as Sheldon Cooper.
Bazinga! Bazinga!
However, before he became a main scene stealer on The Big Bang Theory, the actor took on many smaller parts, including one in Zach Braff's Garden State. In the 2004 indie darling, Parsons plays Tim, the peculiar medieval Times worker. Though his screen time is limited, Jim's signature deadpan delivery and awkward mannerisms were on full display, foreshadowing his future comedic brilliance.
Say what you said to her last night.
Kuntar Patiki Maya. Al Fuxu.
It's a quirky cameo, one that has largely become a footnote in his multi-Emmy winning filmography. However, the Klingon dialogue would surely make the future Sheldon Cooper proud.
You know, in difficult moments like this, I often turn to a force greater than myself. Religion? Star Trek.
Number 4, Elijah Wood, Back to the Future Part 2.
Remember what Bilbo used to say? It's a dangerous business, Frodo. Going out your door, you step onto the road, and if you don't keep your feet, there's no knowing where you might be swept off to.
Elijah Wood may have been just 18 when he starred in The Lord of the Rings, but he was much younger when he appeared in another Hollywood blockbuster, Back to the Future Part 2. When Marty McFly steps into Cafe 80s in the film's version of 2015, he spots two young boys struggling with an arcade game.
It is Wild Gunman.
Stepping in to demonstrate his skills, the two kids, one played by Wood, eventually shake their heads in disappointment, leaving Marty bewildered.
You mean you have to use your hands? That's like a baby's toy.
The scene is even more amusing in hindsight, given that the film was made in 1989, and Wood would go on to become a major star well before the real 2015 arrived. Number 3, Amy Adams, Drop Dead Gorgeous. Like many on this list, Amy Adams is a versatile actor and multi-time award winner.
Either you stand up straight and you get your back straight and you have the courage to become someone, or I'm gone.
If you're curious about what her first feature film was, it came in the 1999 dark comedy Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Hi, Pat. Go Muskies, woo!
In this mockumentary-style film, Adams plays Leslie Miller, a bubbly yet ditzy contestant in a fiercely competitive small-town beauty pageant.
For my talent, I'm going to be doing this. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you.
And though her role is fairly small, there's no question that she stands out among the talented ensemble cast, a skill she has carried throughout her career. It's all further proof that even the smallest supporting roles can leave a lasting impression.
Hey, I got second runner-up. I got second place.
Third. Number 2, Alexander Skarsgård, Zoolander. Whether playing the brooding Eric Northman in True Blood or the king of the jungle Tarzan, Alexander Skarsgård has always commanded attention on screen.
Whatever happens, do not interfere.
So it's only fitting that before his rise to fame, he appeared as a male model in Zoolander. In one of the funniest scenes in the hilariously absurd movie, Derek Zoolander's vapid roommates engage in silly bickering.
It's like, excuse me, but have you ever heard of styling gel?
I'm sure Hansel's heard of styling gel. He's a male model.
Well, Earth to Brent, I was making a joke.
Fortunately, they managed to put their differences aside to cheer up Derek.
Orange mocha frappuccino!
It's just too bad their good vibes are cut short by a tragic and utterly ridiculous gasoline fight accident. We hate when that happens. Number 1, Megan Fox, Bad Boys 2. Contrary to popular belief, Transformers wasn't the first time Megan Fox and Michael Bay worked together.
It looks like your distributor cap's a little loose.
Their professional relationship actually began years earlier with a brief background role in Bad Boys 2, the sequel to Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's 1995 action comedy hit.
You ever made love to a man? No. You want to?
Fox appears in the film in a blink and you'll miss it moment during a montage of partygoers. However, the cameo has since sparked controversy as she was just 15 at the time, dancing in a bikini and 6-inch heels.
I had just turned 15 and I was an extra in Bad Boys 2.
Really?
And yeah, they were shooting this club scene and they brought me in and I was wearing a Stars and Stripes bikini and a red cowboy hat.
Despite this, her collaboration with Bay continued in the years that followed, most notably in the aforementioned Transformers and his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles films.
You're Ninja Mutant Turtle teenagers.
Well, when you put it like that, it sounds ridiculous.
Which pre-fame celebrity cameo were you most surprised to see?
What can I say? Some actors just get the joke, especially when the joke is on them. You'll see.
All hands on deck.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the actors who returned to the big screen to poke fun at their most iconic characters.
Don't cross the street! I don't want to cross! Don't cross the street!
Number 10, Liam Neeson, Ted 2. In this sequel, the main character receives an unlikely visitor at a grocery store. Liam Neeson plays a customer that's anxious about buying Trix cereal.
I'd like to ask a few questions about this breakfast cereal.
Yeah, box of Trix.
That's right. I've been led to understand that Trix are exclusively for children.
With all the intensity of a Taken film, Neeson interrogates Ted about the tagline of the cereal. He even explicitly asks whether there'll be trouble if he, an adult, buys the product.
So if I purchase these Trix, there'll be no trouble.
No, you should be fine.
You do understand that I myself am not a child.
I was able to sniff that out, yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it seems that there does end up being trouble. Neeson returns after the credits, apparently having had quite the rough day, and returns the cereal. It's an absurd and hilarious way to utilize the prestigious talents of this acting legend.
Hey, I won't forget what you've done for me here today.
I would prefer that you do.
Number 9, Martin Sheen, Hot Shots Part 2.
We get up at 5. At first, I thought they'd handed me the wrong dossier. I couldn't believe they wanted this man dead. 3rd generation West Point, top of his class, Korea, airborne, about 1,000 decorations.
The Hot Shots sequel parodies many serious war movies, so obviously they had to include a reference to Francis Ford Coppola's 1979 epic. A badass retired Navy soldier who found inner peace after discovering Buddhism, Charlie Sheen's Topper Harley is pulled back in for one final mission. While Ramboing his way through Iraq, he comes across Martin Sheen's character from Apocalypse Now, who might have taken a wrong turn on his way to Vietnam. As the father and son cross paths, they share a few words of encouragement.
I loved you in Wall Street!
Number 8, Chris Evans, Free Guy.
Think he's gonna hit you?
He punches so hard, but yet his hands are so soft.
Be strong.
As Ryan Reynolds' character plays with all sorts of iconic items, he conjures up one famous shield in the heat of battle. This just so happens to catch the eye of the real Chris Evans. The quick cutaway does half the work, but we also couldn't have asked for a more perfect reaction from the Avenger. At a time when MCU fans were really starting to miss Captain America, this cameo served as a fantastic pick-me-up.
What the shit?
It's also emblematic of the fun energy employed throughout all of Free Guy, not to mention one of the movie's many winning pop culture jokes.
Hold on, is that a taxi? Yes! That's a lightsaber, dude.
Number 7, Johnny Depp, 21 Jump Street.
Let's just relax and we can all leave here as friends.
Yeah, let's do that.
This film wasn't just funny, it also ingeniously brought the franchise full circle.
Oh my god, we're gonna die.
As Schmidt and Jenko find themselves cornered by bad guys, 2 other undercover cops reveal themselves. One of the cops is played by Peter DeLuise, who you might know, and the other is played by Johnny Depp, who you definitely know.
Little dweebs just ruined a 5-year investigation.
Reprising their roles from the original TV series, the partners reminisce about their Jump Street days before getting shot. Depp himself requested that his character be killed off, and the filmmakers gave him a truly uproarious send-off.
That was a gun. Somebody definitely got shot.
Number 6, Hugh Jackman, X-Men First Class.
Excuse me, I'm Eric Lensher. Charles Xavier.
An X-Men movie apparently cannot be produced without an appearance from Wolverine, no matter how short it may be. Since the launch of the first movie, Hugh Jackman has made many physical appearances as Logan.
And this one. In case the other fell off.
While X-Men Apocalypse went for an extended and violent action sequence, Wolverine's best cameo lasted less than half a minute and featured no claws whatsoever. During X-Men First Class, Xavier and Magneto are looking for able mutants to join their cause, which leads them to a dingy bar in the middle of nowhere. Sadly, it was a wasted journey. Number 5. Neil Patrick Harris, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. This legendary cameo comes from an actor who first got famous for his role as TV's Kid Dr. Doogie. In a slightly less than wholesome role, however, NPH turns up during the titular duo's journey to this burger haven.
Neil, you don't understand. We've been craving these burgers all night.
Yeah, I've been craving burgers too. Fur burgers. Come on, dudes, let's pick up some trim at a strip club. The Doogie line always works on strippers. Lap dance.
The complete opposite of what anyone expected, this washed-up and creepy celeb turned hitchhiker punctuates the title stoner's quest for burgers in ways they couldn't possibly imagine.
What happened to my car? I made some love stains in the back seat.
Number 4. John Hurt, Spaceballs. In his send-up of sci-fi films, director Mel Brooks fills a diner with assorted misfits. This includes one patron that looks a lot like Kane from Alien. In yet another space movie, John Hurt's character has a stomach-churning encounter with an extraterrestrial. This version ends in a much more hilarious way as the creature starts to sing and dance.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss, my wife. Baby, my heart's on fire.
Hurt leans into the moment, more than willing to poke fun at his former role. The acclaimed actor could have easily turned down this cameo, but we're glad he instead decided to die by aliens once more in this authentic parody.
Oh no, not again.
Number 3. David Hasselhoff, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Who are you?
I'm David Hasselhoff.
Hooray!
Confusing children and adults alike, David Hasselhoff arrives in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie to give SpongeBob and Patrick a much-needed ride across the sea. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's hilariously campy, so we'll let it slide.
Take it easy back there, fellas.
Hasselhoff really sells his ability to sail across the water like a high-speed boat. All the while, he gives the surreal sequence a humor and charisma that can't be beaten.
But we'll never be able to float down in time.
Who said anything about floating?
Initiating launch sequence.
The actor even launches the characters out of his pecs in a moment that will have viewers of all ages laughing. Number 2. Bill Murray, Zombieland.
Bill Murray, you're a zombie?
In a flick about the end of mankind, the last person anyone expects to see is zombified Bill Murray. But fear not, he's just playing dress-up to keep up with the Joneses. Once Murray drops the ruse, Woody Harrelson gives the appropriate, and some would say mandatory, fan-level freakout. Too bad Bill takes his pranks too far, trying to get a laugh from a scared kid with a shotgun.
No, it's okay.
Luckily, he's able to stay alive long enough to voice regret for starring in Garfield the movie.
So do you have any regrets?
Garfield, maybe?
Number 1. Robert Patrick, Wayne's World. Terminator 2 Judgment Day took the world by storm in 1991, prompting Robert Patrick to revive the character for a brief cameo in Mike Myers' Wayne's World. Dressed up in his now iconic beat cop uniform, the T-1000 pulls over Wayne to ask whether he recently saw John Connor running around.
Yes, officers. There's something wrong?
Have you seen this boy?
Myers reacts exactly how anyone would in this situation. He screams and hightails it out of there. By the way, the T-1000 was actually meant to be portrayed by Billy Idol before he was ruled out due to an unfortunate motorcycle accident. Which actor would you most like to see reprise an iconic character on screen?
We're going to end things today with the grand tour of cameo greatness. Yeah, buckle up, because we got 50 of the most unforgettable movie cameos.
Their fate hangs on the thumb of our final judge. Thumbs up, average Joes can play!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most memorable and or iconic cameos in film history. This list focuses on brief, comedic roles rather than extensive supporting parts. As is often the case with cameos, these contain spoilers.
Am I to understand that you lot will not be keeping to the code then?
Number 50, Stephen King, Creepshow.
Holy old Jesus!
This icon is best known for his stories, but Creepshow lets him explore the horror genre as a performer. The anthology film includes a story based on King's short Weeds, with a section devoted to the character Jordy Verrill. The author plays Verrill as an unfortunate man who got too curious.
I wonder how much they'd pay for it up to college.
After touching a meteorite, his farmer starts to experience negative side effects. It feels like a chance for the writer to finally experience a scary story for himself. With this gruesome tale, he also shows that he could have been an actor in another life.
Oh, you done it now, Jordy Verrill? You monkhead!
Number 49, Brett Favre, There's Something About Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Brett?
What the hell is Brett Favre doing here?
True to the title, Cameron Diaz's character has something that people can't resist. One of her ex-boyfriends happens to be Brett Favre. The athlete shows up near the end, proving to be one of Mary's more wholesome suitors. It's a complete surprise to see an NFL quarterback arrive at the last minute.
That's right, Mary. You know I'll always be true to you.
Shit, this isn't fair.
His appearance alone makes for a funny twist, proving that even famous people know about the woman. Favre also plays himself during one of his early heydays. The Farrelly brothers know how to utilize a topical cameo and make it somewhat believable.
Hey, good luck, Brett. Yeah, thank you. She's a great gal. Take care of her.
Number 48, Buster Keaton, Sunset Boulevard.
The others around the table would be actor friends. Dim figures you may still remember from the silent days.
This film is a mystery, a dark comedy, and a takedown of classic Hollywood. Gloria Swanson's character, Norma Desmond, struggles to come to grips with her fading stardom. She also has acting friends over to play cards, setting the stage for this hard-hitting scene. This game includes a man who looks like Buster Keaton. Willing to poke fun at his own image, the screen comedian appears to be one of the waxworks. He's not technically playing himself, but Keaton does appear as another aging performer. It's a small cameo that provides more authenticity to this legendary production.
3-0 trump. Test.
Passed.
Number 47, Lemmy Kilmister, Airheads.
I understand if you don't love me anymore.
I play D&D too!
This film is all about what happens when a band holds a radio station hostage. Brendan Fraser's character Chester later reveals that he wasn't always a rocker, inspiring others to reveal their secrets. One of the people in the crowd is played by Lemmy Kilmister. It's even funnier to see him after the movie itself references the singer.
Winning a wrestling match, Lemmy or God?
Lemmy.
God. Wrong, dickhead. Trick question. Lemmy is God.
The frontman claims that he was a magazine editor back in school. Not only does this comedy pay tribute to rock history, it includes people who were integral to the genre. Airheads gets a metal icon to make fun of himself, showing that even a Motorhead has a soft side.
I was editor of the school magazine!
Number 46, Hunter S. Thompson, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
I recall one night in a place called the Matrix. There I was.
Johnny Depp does such a convincing job in this film that you almost believe you're watching Hunter S. Thompson. This makes it all the more bizarre when the real man shows up. In this flashback scene, the main hero spots a familiar face at a party. The movie doesn't dwell on this appearance either. The writer doesn't look all that out of place, playing into the story's blend of real and absurd imagery. You might find yourself rewinding to watch for a second time. Terry Gilliam's surreal adaptation of the book doesn't disappoint with these kinds of meta moments.
There I was.
Mother of God, there I am.
Number 45, Keith Richards, Pirates of the Caribbean, At World's End.
He's not been a king since the first court.
and that's not likely to change.
Unlikely.
Since Jack Sparrow is halfway to a rock star, it's only fitting that a real one appears in this sequel. Keith Richards shows up to play the enigmatic Captain Teague. This character plays guitar, but more importantly, he's Sparrow's father. It's both a high-profile cameo and fitting for this kind of pirates film. The guitarist becomes a convincing cast member, wearing his period costume well. Richards doesn't have to do much either, bringing a cool energy to his screen time. You might also be pinching yourself when you realize that a Rolling Stone is in this movie.
Code is the law.
Number 44. Paul Rudd, Ugly Sonic, Darkwing Duck, etc. Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Rescue Rangers!
You might love the main characters, but it's hard not to salute the countless cameos. Some of these are live action, while others are animated guests. These appearances come pouring in when Chip and Dale end up at a fan convention. It's hard to believe how many legends from film, television, and video games show up. The infamous Ugly Sonic arrives to take a stand, giving fans another reason to laugh.
And they'll like me for who I am, not like last time when the internet got one look at my human teeth and burned the place down. Okay, let's see.
Even Paul Rudd pokes fun at his Ant-Man role in a moment for MCU stans.
You know, originally it was called Aunt-Man, A-U-N-T, and my superpower was being really charming to aunts.
During the credits, Darkwing Duck makes a last-minute plea to be the best part of this cast.
Boo hiss! We want Darkwing! We want Darkwing!
We'd go on, but that would require another top 50 list. Number 43, Brad Pitt, The Lost City.
From the dusty mesa, a looming shadow grows.
When things go wrong in this adventure, tough guy Jack Trainer is on the case. Brad Pitt plays this expert agent. While he might be the hero in other movies, he has a short amount of screen time here. It goes one step further when his mission doesn't go as planned.
What is happening? Okay. What do we do?
Pitt's character ends up with a serious injury, taking him out of the action. It's a reversal not unlike the actor's cameo in Deadpool 2. Rather than making him a major character, the plot shelves Trainer for everyday heroes played by Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. The credit sequence then brings him back for one more joke to please audiences.
Yeah, we only use 10% of our brains, so I just switched to another 10%.
So you're okay.
100%.
Number 42, Quentin Tarantino, Desperado.
This reminds me of a joke.
While he doesn't act as much anymore, director Quentin Tarantino did appear in several projects in the 1990s. This particular role brings some levity to Desperado. In the Robert Rodriguez film, he plays a bar patron who loves to tell jokes. His lengthy story gets a laugh before all hell breaks loose.
This guy comes in a bar, walks up to the bartender. He says, "Bartender, I got me a bet for you."
Tarantino knows how to sell the dialogue, playing into his wacky role of a fast-talking customer. A gunfight breaks out that leads to his character's untimely death. Rodriguez's wild movie keeps you guessing, with this cameo lending even more energy to this sequence.
Look, I swear, I have no f***ing idea what the hell's going on here!
Number 41, Huey Lewis, Back to the Future.
All right. We're the pinheads.
Performing the theme song for the movie, Huey Lewis and the News are an integral part of Back to the Future. The first film also gives the lead singer a chance to act. During the audition scene, Marty McFly and his band play in front of some unimpressed adults. One of them is played by Huey Lewis, making this moment even more ironic. Lewis's character has to tell McFly that rock music is too loud. The funny Easter egg only adds to this great scene, with a nod to the vocalist's own sound. It just goes to show that everyone's a critic.
I'm afraid you're just too darn loud. Next, please.
Number 40, Frank Sinatra, Around the World in 80 Days.
How many times did I have to tell you to stay out of here, you donkey? Come on. Louder, son.
In this Best Picture winner from 1956, a slew of celebrities make cameo appearances. David Niven's Phileas Fogg and his valet Passepartout find themselves in a saloon. With characters played by Marlene Dietrich and George Raft, this scene also features a mysterious pianist. You only see his back in a clever setup to the final reveal. When he eventually turns around, Frank Sinatra provides another surprise in this entertaining scene. It's yet another reason to revisit this adaptation of the Jules Verne tale. Sinatra doesn't oversell his part either, providing a nice boost to this epic. Number 39. Angela Lansbury, Stephen Sondheim, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Natasha Lyonne. Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery.
We're code names.
No. Look, I appreciate what y'all trying to do for me here.
We're worried about you, buddy. Lockdown hasn't been easy for any of us.
For this sequel, Benoit Blanc tests his skills in a round of Among Us. He also plays with some famous friends. This unlikely ensemble proves to be a talented bunch, outsmarting Blanc in this popular game. Actress Angela Lansbury is one opponent, along with Stephen Sondheim and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Can I ask, have you tried crosswords?
No, Natasha. I don't need puzzles or games. The last thing I need is a vacation.
You also get to see an appearance from Poker Face star Natasha Lyonne. Director Ryan Johnson brings the laughs while making the audience reel from the star power. It's fun to imagine the detective spending his free time this way. Even if the cameos don't make you laugh, they're a fitting salute to these artists. Number 38. Robert Patrick, Last Action Hero. If you remember the second Terminator, you definitely know Robert Patrick's face. His role as the T-1000 is so iconic that it's appeared in other films like Last Action Hero. The meta-action movie features 2 cameos, but you have to be watching closely to catch them both. Patrick walks by the lead characters after an appearance from Sharon Stone. It's amazing that they got him to do it, considering that it's so fast. Even in his brief screen time, the actor manages to look cool. He doesn't even need to say anything to make an impact.
Jack! Did you see that?
Number 37. Val Kilmer, Top Gun Maverick.
Please, don't worry about me. What can I do for you?
Part of this sequel is about dealing with the past. It's only fitting that Val Kilmer came back to reprise his role as Iceman. In real life, the actor had been living with various health problems. The filmmakers worked this into the story in a moving moment between performers. Maverick looks for advice, but he also finds a cathartic conversation with his former rival. Kilmer wears the emotion on his face and plays especially well off of Tom Cruise. While Top Gun Maverick features aerial action, it also lets a well-placed cameo ground the story.
The Navy needs Maverick. The kid needs Maverick. That's why I fought for you. That's why you're still here.
Number 36. David Lynch, The Fabelmans.
They tell me you want to be a picture maker.
Yes, sir, I do.
Why?
Before ending his semi-autobiographical film, Steven Spielberg sends his hero to meet a legend. The lead character meets and learns a lesson from director John Ford. Played by the late, great David Lynch, this older filmmaker doesn't like to mince words.
No. Where's the horizon?
The horizon?
The performer wears an eye patch and smokes a cigar, adding plenty of details to this scene. His character is hilarious, blunt, and filled with cinematic wisdom. Ford becomes a perfect role for Lynch, with the former teaching his guest about the rules of art. His final wrap-up might be the funniest of the entire movie. It's another case of an off-the-wall casting selling the part.
Good luck to you. And get the f*** out of my office.
Number 35. Mark Hamill, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
What the?
He might be a Star Wars icon, but Mark Hamill likes to make fun of himself. His appearance in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is one key example. The entrance alone should be considered classic, but there's also his superhero costume. Hamill throws himself into the role without caring about how he looks. Playing up the comedic script, the actor shows that he's much more than Luke Skywalker.
You and your sidekick are finally in the grasp of Cocksucker.
Director Kevin Smith finds a way to both honor a cinematic hero and parody the star's persona. If you need a reminder of the man's versatility, you should watch this comedy again. The film also gives you a chance to watch Ben and Matt spoof Good Will Hunting.
Now how do you like them apples? I don't like the sound of them apples. Well, what are we gonna do?
Jackie?
Yeah?
It's hunting season.
Number 34, Danny Glover, Maverick.
What about the
bank robbery?
Oh, Robert, I told you
Yeah,
that.
but hold up. You heard the man. Bank robbery. Get me off those bars over there.
After the release of Lethal Weapon, the movie Maverick decided to have some fun with audiences. Mel Gibson stars in the latter western that welcomes this star cameo. Danny Glover appears as a robber, wearing his charisma under a bandana. At one point, the two characters do a double take.
Hey! Oh, sorry. Give me that.
Both performers mostly play it straight, but the viewers will enjoy seeing them together again. It's ultimately an entertaining way to wink at the buddy cop series. Even if you don't remember this 1994 film, you should check it out for this exciting little detour. Number 33, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man: No Way Home.
You're Peter.
Yeah, Peter Parker. I've seen you two. Hi.
They tried to hide these two, but we all knew they were up to something. Spider-Man: No Way Home would not be complete without these two performers bringing their A game. These cameos from Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were still impactful. When portals open, other versions of Spider-Man assemble.
Look, I think that I can repair the devices for Dylan and Marco, but the others...
Well, I got Connors. I've already cured him once, so no big deal.
Maguire and Garfield reprise their role as the web slinger, bringing their own personalities to an action-packed film. They show off their chemistry in a fantastic finale. With some emotional moments, they also play important roles in the overall story.
My Uncle Ben was killed. It was my fault.
I lost Gwen. She was my MJ.
Number 32, Blade and Elektra, Deadpool and Wolverine. If you've seen Deadpool and Wolverine, you know that it's not exactly subtle about anything.
I like it here.
This movie doesn't do anything small, with cameos galore throughout the sequel. These include Jennifer Garner and Wesley Snipes playing some familiar heroes. Building upon past experience, both performers bring in their own gravitas to this wacky adventure. It's amazing to see them back as Elektra and Blade. Playing against Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, these actors prove themselves alongside other greats. They even stand out amongst shocking appearances like Channing Tatum as Gambit. All of them end up being awesome counterparts to the title roles.
How did you all get stuck in the void?
There was a knock at the door. TVA sent me here.
Me too.
Maybe I was born here. It's hard to know for sure.
Number 31, Chuck Norris, Dodgeball, a true underdog story.
The committee members have the final say, and it looks like they've come to a decision.
To many people, Chuck Norris still represents one of the most macho actors ever. His appearance in Dodgeball comes at the 11th hour. The performer gives a deciding vote in favor of Average Joe's Jim. Norris delivers a memorable thumbs up, helping the heroes to conquer the villains. It's a strange cameo that comes after the likes of David Hasselhoff, William Shatner, and even Lance Armstrong. The missing in action star even gets a funny exchange with Vince Vaughn, making this another high point of the movie. In a comedy full of fun moments, the filmmakers find new ways to excite the viewers.
Thank you, Chuck Norris.
Thank you, Peter.
Number 30, Matt Damon, Eurotrip. The start of this movie follows recent high school graduate Scotty Thomas as he discovers the reason his girlfriend broke up with him. It just so happens that her new boyfriend is played by Matt Damon.
Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my van every Sunday.
The shock of seeing this A-lister show up in a movie like this is enough to make anybody laugh. But to top things off, Damon takes the stage to sing a song about his character's affair.
I can't believe he's so trusting. While I'm right behind you thrusting.
The surreal cameo really underscores how embarrassed Scotty is about the revelation. Sporting a shaved head, the Jason Bourne star gives this scene all the gravitas and reckless abandon an audience could want. It's that same kind of dedication that draws similar laughs in Thor Ragnarok.
Tell my story. Build a statue for me.
We will build a big statue for you.
With my helmet on, with the big bendy horns.
Number 29, Tom Cruise and Company, Austin Powers in Goldmember.
It's Britney Spears!
In this sequel, the filmmakers decide to have some fun with a whole slew of choice cameos. The beginning looks like a big-budget adventure and features the star power of Tom Cruise, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Danny DeVito. The amazing cast doesn't hesitate in playing their parts to the fullest.
Hey, Powers! You better watch your friggin' self, because this is one doctor who does make house calls.
To make things even better, Steven Spielberg also shows up as a parody of himself to direct the whole sequence. Movie fans will be grinning from ear to ear as they get to see so many incredible artists together. Plus, the fact that they get to say Austin Powers dialogue makes it even more entertaining.
Well, Miss Norris, shall we shag now or shag later?
Oh, Austin, behave.
Number 28, Liam Neeson, Ted 2. In this sequel, the main character receives an unlikely visitor at a grocery store. Liam Neeson plays a customer that's anxious about buying Trix cereal.
I'd like to ask a few questions about this breakfast cereal.
Yeah, box of Trix.
That's right. I've been led to understand that Trix are exclusively for children.
With all the intensity of a Taken film, Neeson interrogates Ted about the tagline of the cereal. He even explicitly asks whether there'll be trouble if he, an adult, buys the product.
So if I purchase these Trix, there'll be no trouble?
No, you should be fine.
You do understand that I myself am not a child?
I was able to sniff that out, yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it seems that there does end up being trouble. Neeson returns after the credits, apparently having had quite the rough day, and returns the cereal. It's an absurd and hilarious way to utilize the prestigious talents of this acting legend.
Hey, I won't forget what you've done for me here today.
I would prefer that you do.
Number 27, Charlton Heston, Wayne's World 2. Sometimes casting can completely change a movie for the better. This moment from Wayne's World 2 perfectly illustrates that point, allowing for a last-minute swap to elevate the scene.
Gordon Street! Gordon Street! Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Gordon Street.
I once knew a girl who lived on Gordon Street. But that was a long time ago.
The hero has Charlton Heston tag in to play a gas station attendant who loves to talk. The real magic comes from his performance as he recites his lines like they're from an Oscar-winning script.
I once knew a girl who lived on Gordon Street a long time ago, when I was a young man. Not a day passes I don't think of her.
With Wayne even tearing up at the end, the whole speech becomes a funny play on the typical Hollywood monologue. It's both a major highlight from an underrated sequel and a showcase of Heston's talents.
That one perfect day on Gordon Street. That's 5 blocks up, 2 over.
Number 26, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Airplane. This landmark comedy wouldn't be complete without a number of great casting choices. For one of the pilots, the filmmakers decided to cast NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Flight 209er to Denver Radio. Climbing to cruise at 42,000. We'll report again over Lincoln. Over and out.
His appearance alone gets laughs, but the script lets the all-star have a few awesome lines. The athlete fields questions about his skills before dishing out a hilarious takedown.
Listen, kid. I've been hearing that crap ever since I was at UCLA. I'm out there busting my buns every night. Tell your old man to drag Walton and Lanier up and down the court for 48 minutes.
And he does it all while trying to keep his cover as co-pilot Roger Murdoch. Oh, what we wouldn't give to hear him take down the kid's father. In a movie full of unexpected cameos, this one might just be the greatest.
I'm sorry, son, but you must have me confused with someone else. My name is Roger Murdoch. I'm the co-pilot.
Number 25, David Hasselhoff, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Who are you?
I'm David Hasselhoff.
Hooray!
Confusing children and adults alike, David Hasselhoff arrives in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie to give SpongeBob and Patrick a much-needed ride across the sea. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's hilariously campy, so we'll let it slide.
Take it easy back there, fellas.
Hasselhoff really sells his ability to sail across the water like a high-speed boat. All the while, he gives the surreal sequence a humor and charisma that can't be beaten.
But we'll never be able to float down in time.
Who said anything about floating?
Initiating launch sequence.
The actor even launches the characters out of his pecs in a moment that will have viewers of all ages laughing. Number 24, Bob Barker, Happy Gilmore.
You know what's driving me crazy? You not getting the ball in the hole.
Don't push me, Bob. Now's not the time.
When the titular golfer finds himself in a celebrity tournament, he partners up with Bob Barker. The Price is Right host can only take Happy Gilmore for so long before picking a fight. Well, in all fairness, it's Gilmore who throws the first punch, and what a blow it is.
All right, let's go. Oh! You like that, old man? You want a piece of me? I don't want a piece of you. I want the whole thing. Oh!
It's crazy and unexpected, but the sight of these two duking it out on the golf course is nothing short of hysterical. We never imagined we'd get to see Bob Barker punching Adam Sandler so many times in quick succession, but we're glad such a scene exists.
I think you've had enough.
Number 23, John Hurt, Spaceballs. In his send-up of sci-fi films, director Mel Brooks fills a diner with assorted misfits. This includes one patron that looks a lot like Kane from Alien. In yet another space movie, John Hurt's character has a stomach-churning encounter with an extraterrestrial. This version ends in a much more hilarious way, as the creature starts to sing and dance.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss, my wine. Baby, my heart's on fire.
Hurt leans into the moment, more than willing to poke fun at his former role. The acclaimed actor could have easily turned down this cameo, but we're glad he instead decided to die by aliens once more in this authentic parody.
Oh no, not again.
Number 22, Chris Evans, Free Guy.
Think he's gonna hit you?
He punches so hard, but yet his hands are so soft.
Be strong.
As Ryan Reynolds' character plays with all sorts of iconic items, he conjures up one famous shield in the heat of battle. This just so happens to catch the eye of the real Chris Evans. The quick cutaway does half the work, but we also couldn't have asked for a more perfect reaction from the Avenger. At a time when MCU fans were really starting to miss Captain America, this cameo served as a fantastic pick-me-up.
What the shit?
It's also emblematic of the fun energy employed throughout all of Free Guy, not to mention one of the movie's many winning pop culture jokes.
Hold on. Is that a taxi?
Yes! That's a lightsaber, dude.
Number 21, Billy Idol, The Wedding Singer. Seeing a celebrity on a plane is especially exciting if it's Billy Idol in the 1980s. The Wedding Singer puts its finale in the skies with this rock star included.
Glenn doesn't deserve her. All he cares about are possessions. Fancy cars, CD players. Even women are possessions to him.
The musician makes a terrific impression by helping Adam Sandler's Robbie woo Drew Barrymore's Julia. Idol does it all with an effortless charm, even offering the hero a chance to realize his musical dreams.
Hey, Robbie, that wasn't a bad song. You know, I'm going to tell those record company guys about you.
Mind if I give her a kiss first?
Oh yeah, do what you gotta do.
It's ultimately a heartwarming and supportive cameo that helps set up a memorable ending. If you didn't know or love the White Wedding singer before, you probably will after seeing him save the day.
How you doing, sir? Chicken or fish?
You better get out of my way, Billy. You're gonna get hurt.
Oh yeah?
Don't you talk to Billy Idol that way.
Number 20, Hugh Jackman, X-Men First Class.
Excuse me, I'm Eric Lensher.
Charles Xavier.
An X-Men movie apparently cannot be produced without an appearance from Wolverine, no matter how short it may be. Since the launch of the first movie, Hugh Jackman has made many physical appearances as Logan.
And this one. In case the other fell off.
While X-Men Apocalypse went for an extended and violent action sequence, Wolverine's best cameo lasted less than half a minute and featured no claws whatsoever. During X-Men First Class, Xavier and Magneto are looking for able mutants to join their cause, which leads them to a dingy bar in the middle of nowhere. Sadly, it was a wasted journey. Number 19, Ozzy Osbourne, Little Nicky.
What? What's that? What's with the ball?
Deus Ex Machina, Black Sabbath style. As the son of Satan, the kind and sweet Little Nicky is a bitter disappointment. Sandler's demon is on a quest to prevent his brothers from plunging the world into a never-ending darkness, although he does need a bit of help to get the job done. After smashing a mysterious orb given to him by his angelic mother, the Prince of Darkness shows up to take a bite out of Nicky's brother. Metal fans have known this for decades, but Ozzy is a gift from God.
You can do it, Ozzy! Fight his freaking head off! No!
Number 18, Danny McBride, Observe and Report.
Get your hands off him! What? You heard me? That's my son!
Considering they created comedy gold with Eastbound and Down, it's no surprise that Danny McBride appeared in Jody Hill's Observe and Report. Seth Rogen's Ronnie is an arrogant mall cop driven by a desire for justice, who apprehends a prepubescent drug peddler during his free time. Unfortunately, the child's father shows up with his goons and sticks a gun in Ronnie's face area. Luckily for the mall cop, this gang has a few screws loose. Sticking to what he's known for, McBride delivers a funny and foul-mouthed performance. Number 17, Everyone, Muppets Most Wanted.
Oh, waiter. Yes? May I help you?
The wine, please.
You mad impetuous think it's champagne.
Not exactly. Sparkling Muscatel, one of the finest wines of Idaho.
From the days of Steve Martin and Richard Pryor, the Muppets have turned celebrity cameos into an art form. Their 2014 outing boasts over 20 famous faces, ensuring that every single viewer will recognize at least one of them.
We're doing a sequel. Let's give it a go.
With Hollywood stars.
And more one-liner cameo.
We're doing a sequel.
Picking the best of the bunch is practically impossible, as nearly all of them deliver the goods. Who didn't laugh when Christoph Waltz showed up to literally do the waltz, or Tom Hiddleston hamming it up as the great escapo for the Prisoner talent show? Honestly, the entire movie is one big cameo. Number 16, Christopher Lloyd, A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Hello?
This film showed, if not anything else, that Seth MacFarlane knows how to write cameos. Despite being the director's worst reviewed movie to date, A Million Ways to Die in the West features a few hilarious moments, including an out-of-the-blue cameo by Doc Brown himself. MacFarlane's Albert Stark randomly discovers Christopher Lloyd in a barn as the scientist tries to kickstart the DeLorean.
What's that?
Nothing. It's a weather experiment.
Oh.
Great Scott!
Considering Back to the Future Part 3 takes place in the West, this cameo actually kind of makes sense. Number 15, Johnny Depp, 21 Jump Street.
Let's just relax and we can all leave here friends.
Yeah, let's do that.
This film wasn't just funny, it also ingeniously brought the franchise full circle.
Oh my god, we're gonna die.
As Schmidt and Jenko find themselves cornered by bad guys, two other undercover cops reveal themselves. One of the cops is played by Peter DeLuise, who you might know, and the other is played by Johnny Depp, who you definitely know.
Little dweebs just ruined a 5-year investigation.
Reprising their roles from the original TV series, the partners reminisce about their Jump Street days before getting shot. Depp himself requested that his character be killed off, and the filmmakers gave him a truly uproarious send-off.
That was a gun. Somebody definitely got shot.
Number 14, Hulk Hogan, Gremlins 2, The New Batch.
We have gremlins in the projection booth. Could you help us? Gremlins? In this theater? Now? Okay, you guys, listen up.
Gremlins 2 works in so much meta humor that it practically destroys the fourth wall.
This is worse than the first one.
We just show these movies, madam. We don't make them.
I quit. I quit. Call the union, call the National Guard. Those things have taken over the projector. They refuse to show the rest of the film. All they want to see is Snow White, the Seven Dwarfs.
Enough! I'll take care of this.
At one point, the mischievous gremlins actually take over the projection booth, stalling the film. But don't worry, folks, Hulk Hogan is in the audience. In true macho fashion, the professional wrestler threatens to get physical if the little miscreants above don't resume playing Gremlins 2.
Okay, you guys, listen up. People paid good money to see this movie. When they go out to a theater, they want cold sodas, hot popcorn, and no monsters in the projection booth. Do I have to come up there myself? Do you think the Grimsters can stand up to the Hulkster? Well, if I were you, I'd run the rest of Gremlins 2 right now.
It turns out the Gremlins actually have two weaknesses, sunlight and the Hulkster. Hilarious and surreal, this scene makes us wish every movie theater had Hulk Hogan on standby.
Sorry, folks. It won't happen again.
Number 13, Robert Patrick, Wayne's World. Terminator 2 Judgment Day took the world by storm in 1991, prompting Robert Patrick to revive the character for a brief cameo in Mike Myers' Wayne's World. Dressed up in his now iconic beat cop uniform, the T-1000 pulls over Wayne to ask whether he recently saw John Connor running around.
Yes, officer. Is there something wrong?
Have you seen this boy?
Myers reacts exactly how anyone would in this situation. He screams and hightails it out of there. By the way, the T-1000 was actually meant to be portrayed by Billy Idol before he was ruled out due to an unfortunate motorcycle accident. Number 12, Michael Jackson, Men in Black 2.
How'd it go?
Zed, the Jolocks are gone and the treaty is signed.
Good work.
During the later years of his life, Michael Jackson was the target of numerous gags, with everyone making fun of his physical appearance and questionable behavior. If this cameo from Men in Black 2 proved anything, however, it's that Jackson could laugh at himself.
Zed, what about that position you promised me in Men in Black?
Conversing via video phone, Jackson is revealed to be an ally of Zed, and possibly an alien.
Still working on the Alien Affirmative Action Program. I'll keep you posted.
Wait a minute, that's not what you promised me.
You're breaking up.
Zed?
Can't hear you.
Hello?
I'll call you back.
Jackson wants nothing more than to be an official MIB agent, although Zed isn't too keen on the idea. Michael sadly never becomes Agent M, but he'll always be the king of pop.
Zed, hello?
So feisty.
Number 11, Emma Watson, This Is the End.
Emma!
Oh my god, you guys are alive!
This Is the End is yet another comedy that packs in countless cameos. Although it was pretty awesome to see the Backstreet Boys reunited, it was even more jarring seeing Hermione Granger make an appearance.
I hid in a drain pipe for days, like 3 or 4, I don't even know how many. And then I stopped hearing people, and I started hearing growling noises.
Out there in your travels, did you see anything that you would describe as apocalyptic?
I mean, no, but I would say it's completely obvious what's going on here. I mean, it's a zombie invasion.
Surviving the apocalypse, Emma Watson finds refuge at James Franco's house. But as the guys start sending the wrong kind of vibes, Watson decides that she's probably safer outside.
Give me everything you have to drink, put it in the bag!
There are 6 of us, you cannot rob us!
Before leaving, though, the Hogwarts alumnus bashes in Seth Rogen's face and steals their supplies. Whether she's wielding a wand or an axe, Watson is one celebrity we'd want on our side when all hell breaks loose.
Get the Milky Way away. You can put the axe down now. Okay? No, shoot her face, shoot her. I'm not gonna shoot Emma Watson. Look, Emma, just stay here with us. It's a lot safer than out there.
Number 10, Eminem and Ray Romano. Funny people.
I don't think you should have took that medicine. Why not? I don't know, personally, I think you should have just let yourself die.
Funny People centers on Adam Sandler as a struggling comedian who suddenly contracts a fatal disease and has to revalue his entire life. As with most of Judd Apatow's work, Funny People blends hilarious hijinks with many heartfelt moments, including the awesome scene featuring Eminem and Ray Romano. After the rapper gives Sandler a pep talk about the celebrity lifestyle, Eminem loses it after realizing that the Everybody Loves Raymond comedian is staring at him. Apparently, everybody does not include Eminem.
Ray Romano's bothering you? Who? Ray who? Ray Romano, the guy from Everybody Loves Raymond? Look who what show he's on. I'll this mother up, man. Hey, Ray!
Hello, Marshall.
Problem here, buddy?
I thought everybody loved you.
So now that you got this second chance, man, like, what do you want? I kind of don't want anything. So then what are we celebrating?
Number 9, Mike Tyson, The Hangover. When a wild night becomes a day of retracing drunken steps, one nagging mystery in particular remains a head-scratcher. Where'd the tiger come from? Reality is stranger than any theory you can dream up, because the boys stole it from a sleeping Mike Tyson. Gotta say though, Mike seems pretty friendly, especially when he wants to sing with the gang. But turns out it's all part of his interrogation technique.
Oh, jeez.
Number 8, Martin Sheen, Hot Shots Part 2.
We get up at 5.
At first, I thought they'd handed me the wrong dossier. I couldn't believe they wanted this man dead. 3rd generation West Point, top of his class, Korea, airborne, about 1,000 decorations.
The Hot Shots sequel parodies many serious war movies, so obviously they had to include a reference to Francis Ford Coppola's 1979 epic. A badass retired Navy soldier who found inner peace after discovering Buddhism, Charlie Sheen's Topper Harley is pulled back in for one final mission. While Ramboing his way through Iraq, he comes across Martin Sheen's character from Apocalypse Now, who might have taken a wrong turn on his way to Vietnam. As the father and son cross paths, they share a few words of encouragement.
I loved you in Wall Street!
Number 7, Neil Patrick Harris, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. This legendary cameo comes from an actor who first got famous for his role as TV's Kid Dr. Doogie. In a slightly less than wholesome role, however, NPH turns up during the titular duo's journey to this burger haven.
Neil, you don't understand. We've been craving these burgers all night.
Yeah, I've been craving burgers too. Fur burgers. Come on, dudes, let's pick up some trim at a strip club. The Doogie line always works on strippers. Lap dance.
There's a gas station. I'm gonna see if we can get directions.
We don't need to.
The complete opposite of what anyone expected, this washed-up and creepy celeb turned hitchhiker punctuates the title stoner's quest for burgers in ways they couldn't possibly imagine.
What happened to my car? I made some love stains in the back seat. You'll see. Anyway, nice meeting you guys. I'll catch you later.
Where are you going?
Wherever God takes me.
Number 6, Eminem, The Interview.
I feel like when I rap, like, people twist my words.
Marshall Mathers, also known as Eminem, has made multiple epic cameos in Seth Rogen comedies. We've seen that he's not a very big fan of Ray Romano. Then, in The Interview, Eminem gave us a revelation no one was expecting with the most deadpan, casual delivery he could muster.
When I say things about gay people, or people think that my lyrics are homophobic, you know, it's because I'm gay. When I rap about violence or, you know, sound like I'm promoting violence, I think that, you know, it's more or less because, you know, it's kind of about me just, you know, confronting it.
In fact, the best part of the whole scene is probably the rapper's commitment to keeping a straight face.
Em, let's just back it up a moment. You just said that you were gay? And I'm just curious what you meant by that exactly.
I mean, I'm gay.
I'm just a little confused here because gay can mean a lot of things.
I am a homosexual.
Meaning?
I like men.
He does it so well, especially when some horrendous lyrics are read out to him. Just as funny is everyone's shocked reactions as they try to fathom Eminem's quick coming out.
Eminem just said he was gay 4 times.
Number 5, Michael Cera, This Is the End.
I'm sorry. I sorry.
Who wants to sip? Sip time.
This Is the End asks how celebrities would react to an end of days scenario. While the main actors mostly play it straight, Cera is allowed to run wild for his brief cameo. The Arrested Development actor drops his typically goody two-shoes persona as he indulges in some party favors, engages in a threesome, and harasses Rihanna. Also, This Is the End shows Channing Tatum in a gimp suit. You have to see it to believe it. Number 4, David Bowie, Zoolander.
All right, who's gonna call this sucker?
If nobody has any objections, I believe I might be of service.
Zoolander has celebrity cameos left and right, with the most memorable of the bunch being the late great David Bowie. Making a triumphant entrance complete with a title card, Bowie declares himself the judge of Derek and Hansel's walk-off.
Now, this will be a straight walk-off. Old school rules. First model walks, second model duplicates, then elaborates. Okay, boys, let's go to work.
Each before beauty code cheese.
Whatever.
Right.
As Bowie keeps score on his hand, Hansel takes the lead by miraculously removing his underwear while somehow keeping his pants on. Even Jareth the Goblin King couldn't perform such dark magic. Derek tries to top his rival, but he isn't quite as successful. Thus, Bowie disqualifies him like a boss.
Disqualified.
Number 3, Bill Murray, Zombieland.
Bill Murray, you're a zombie?
Oh, I'm on fire! Ouch! You're not a zombie. You're talking. You're okay. The hell I am.
In a flick about the end of mankind, the last person anyone expects to see is zombified Bill Murray. But fear not, he's just playing dress-up to keep up with the Joneses. Once Murray drops the ruse, Woody Harrelson gives the appropriate, and some would say mandatory, fan-level freakout. Too bad Bill takes his pranks too far, trying to get a laugh from a scared kid with a shotgun.
No, it's okay.
Number 2, Luke Wilson, Tim Robbins, and Ben Stiller, Anchorman.
¿Cómo están, bitches? Spanish language news is here. Tonight's top story: the sewers run red with Burgundy's blood. Yeah,
Looks like we got ourselves a bilingual bloodfest.
In a completely random and hilarious opportunity for cameos, the Channel 4 news team is caught off guard by all of their rivals while taking a shortcut through town. No, we don't just mean Vince Vaughn and his aggressive evening news team. We're talking about Luke Wilson's Channel 2 team, Tim Robbins' public news team, and Ben Stiller's Spanish language news team, and their epic, and frankly bizarre, cameo-laden brawl. Of course, the stakes were raised in the Anchorman sequel when Sacha Baron Cohen, Tina Fey, Jim Carrey, John C. Reilly, and a bunch of others showed up to duke it out for journalistic dominance.
Jeff Bullington, ESPN All Sports. Tonight's player today is me, extracting your spine from your dead body.
Holy there's a lot of news. It's true, the market is becoming saturated.
Hey, the History Network wants in on this. We're news too, only news told much, much later.
Number 1, Stan Lee, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This influential legend captured the imaginations of comic book readers everywhere for decades, and he had a habit of popping up on the big screen as well.
You know, I guess one person can make a difference. Enough said.
His cameos were in fact so numerous that he has his own WatchMojo list devoted to the topic.
I had a girl probably the same as yours. She always complained that I spent too much time with my own comics, and eventually we broke up.
See, what did she know? Here you are now, a legend in the field. Probably had a slew of women since her, am I right?
Oh, lots of women. Jagger and me, we had a running contest to see who had the most.
He's shown up as a tuned-out librarian, a romance expert, and as replacements for Hugh Hefner and Larry King, to name a few. Unsurprisingly, most of his screen time was in MCU movies, but blink and you might miss some of them. After all these cameo appearances, you'd think Stan wouldn't have had any trouble getting on the guest list.
Invitation, sir.
I should be on that list.
Name?
Stan Lee.
Yeah, nice try, buddy.
No,
Nice
no,
try.
really,
Nice
I'm
try,
Stan
yeah.
Lee.
Did we forget another iconic cameo?
Can I help you?
Well, that's going to do it for this special look at the wonderful world of movie cameos. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I definitely did. I've been Matt for Watch Mojo, and I'll see you next time.